Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on inside the house, bring yourself up a ringside seat or two or three, because you know there might be family in town.
Yeah, we got a lot going on this weekend here. We got holiday season in full swing. We got retirement storylines coming to an end. We got new talent emerging and exposing themselves to a broader audience. We got a whole lot of shaking going on.
So let's get your soda, your popcorn, your whiskey, get everything you need, because the topic today is the Ring General.
Oh yeah, I mean the Triple H Slayer here, his armed guard that he sends out to slay all the minorities across the WWE landscape.
He is Legend Killer 2.0.
Essentially, like I said, as Triple H sends out the one to vanquish all the minorities from the WWE.
Funny you mentioned Triple H in the same vein as
Triple
Gunther.
K.
Yeah, Triple K.
Sorry.
Well,
just thinking out
before
loud.
we get to all of that, let's get to our sponsor this week.
Yeah, we got to hurry up and get to the sponsor. We need some drinks in us to keep.
We got to talk about Eagle Rare, aged 10 years, bourbon from the fine people at Buffalo Trace Distillery,
right in Louisville, Lexington, Kentucky area.
All right, so let's do a cheers. Let's do 2 in 1. Let's do a cheers to the Ring General.
Okay.
And let's do a cheers to John Cena for wrapping up that career and giving us one hell of a tap out to talk about.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be some conversation to be had there.
Oh. Ooh, I missed that one.
Age 10 years. Age 10 years in the bottle. How many years you got?
I don't know. 10 years in the barrel.
Yeah, I mean in the barrel. Yeah, but how many years in the bottle do you got it?
This one?
Yeah. Approximately.
I think maybe the sponsor sent this one about 4 or 5 years ago.
There you go. So that's age 15 years right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Me and them sponsors, we got hookups, man.
But see, we can do the 2 cheers in one here, because Saturday night we did a whole lot of cheersing for the John Cena retirement show, as well as the rest of Saturday night's main event. We did some good cheers in that day. So.
We did. So let's talk about it. So first off, Cody and Oba.
Here we go. He done already had too much.
Cody and Obafemi. Let's talk about it real quick. Too short of a match.
So maybe not. Again, we talked about there could have been some mistakes in there. There could have been some
split hair.
There was definitely some split hairs going on. But I still believe that when that happened, I think it was kind of a let's go home early kind of thing, because I think that year might have been a little worse than they thought.
Yeah. But you got kind of an interference finish. You got Drew McIntyre, which we kind of figured was.
We figured, but we didn't figure it would be the way it
happened.
Thought there was going to be a winner come out of that. Then I remembered it's Triple H booking.
Yeah,
why would we book Obafemi to win? We can't. When we have to put Cody Rhodes down, we don't do that.
No, and I believe if the booking would have been made so, I mean, Cody would have laid down. I mean, Cody.
Yeah, I don't see him having a problem with it at all.
Cody would have done it, but.
He don't want to lose his invite to the cookout. So
correct.
Yeah, he definitely would have.
Raheem Rhodes.
He would have done the job that was necessary to do. But yeah, I feel like it came from up above, and it's like Obafemi's just a little too dark skinned to be going over our hero. We just can't have that happen.
But I will say, Oba fit the part, looked the part, definitely got the. Just the it factor when it comes to being in the ring with the WWE heavyweight champion.
He rose to the occasion. He didn't fall short. He carried his weight in the match. It didn't like Cody had to dance him around or anything. He did everything that he knew to do.
Yep.
The only thing, that damn march.
Let's talk about that real quick. That's the one chink in the armor now for Oba. We feel
I'm just not
feeling the march.
Not seeing it on the main roster, right? Like in NXT, it's great.
Yep.
The laser lights and all that they're doing in NXT. It looks great for an NXT production when they're doing it in NXT. In the Performance Center.
Yeah.
When you move to the big stage and you've got 20,000 in the building and you've got Saturday Night Lights and Peacock and all that. Peacocking out there ain't the way to go, right? You gotta have a little bit more of a dominant stance to your thing. Now, I'm sure there's some reasoning behind him wanting to do the march. I get all that. But on the main roster, when he gets the actual call up, he needs to leave that back in Performance Center.
There is an old saying, if it's meant to be, it will always find a way. Obafemi is meant to be in the top player cards for the main roster.
Yeah.
It will find a way. There will be little things tweaked along the way. They're going to look at this, look at that, and go, yeah, let's change his character this way or that way. But one thing will always remain constant with Obafemi. That boy is solid gold in the ring and on the mic.
Yeah,
he's ready to go. He's ready.
And he's 27.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's fresh. He's been in the business 3 years. He's already main evented against WWE's best. That the road ain't going down from there, right? They've got so much more to do with him, but when I look, just when I look at him, when I fashion him, I see Obafemi being what Vince McMahon wanted out of Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah.
Everything I see in the setup, I feel like is what Vince saw in Ahmed. Ahmed just didn't have character. He couldn't talk on the mic. He couldn't be a performer. He could go out there and brutalize people. He couldn't do it safe, but he could do it.
Yeah.
Which anybody could do that if you're giving them their body, but he didn't have that that put me over the edge, make him a superstar. And Vince tried. Vince gave him the title. He gave him the Intercontinental title. He tagged him with the Warrior. He put him with Shawn Michaels. He put him with guys to make him the best. And he just wasn't that guy. I feel like Obafemi is that guy. And if they follow that same formula, then the sky's the limit.
Yep. Let's talk about the other match that happened with Bayley, Sol Ruka. Sol came out looking like a superstar, and in aspects of just who was supposed to be kind of eyes on the new person, she stole the show for that part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, upside, she looked really good doing it. Downside, she was the only NXT win on the night. Kind of predictable, but hey, if it had to go to somebody, at least they gave it to somebody who could look the part.
Tag belts were on the line with AJ and Dragon Lee and Javon and Slater.
Them boys bouncy.
Them boys are bouncy, and I will say this. I believe they are about to move Javon up, and then Slater's going to slide right into Javon's role in NXT.
I kind of see it. I don't know how much time he's got left on his TNA deal.
Yep.
I don't know. He's their current X Division champion, so clearly he hadn't intent to go anywhere right away.
Yep.
But considering we got word that the TNA NXT relationship is going to continue, then yeah, I think you're completely right. I think Javon Evans escalates, and they move him right over. Or if they try and keep him together, I mean, they've been a pretty successful tag team in NXT. If you're going to try and develop the tag team division, then I could see them bringing them up together. The only problem I have with that is now you're looking at Street Profits 2.0.
There you go. And I was about to say Montez Ford, Javon Evans does not need to be in that Montez Ford role.
No, and that's what I'm afraid of, because it pigeonholes them.
Yep.
It's going to work them into, because Montez is clearly ready to break away from the tag team division and go into a singles run, but for whatever reason or another, be it him, be it the team, be it management, he hasn't. And that window ain't getting bigger. It seems like it's getting smaller and smaller the more we talk about it, because there's no inkling of it even happening. I even heard rumors that the Masked Man was going to be Montez Ford. And then, of course, that didn't happen. So,
and why didn't it happen?
Well, because Triple H booked it. I mean, come on now. That's a pretty high-profile spot. We're going to have too many of y'all up in those spots now.
Instead, he got Gene Snitsky.
Yeah. That was it wasn't his fault, though.
No, it wasn't his fault.
But, nonetheless, that's just the issue that I see with that. If they move him up in the tag team, if they move him up in the singles division, well, hell, then he's Carmelo Hayes. We already got one of them up there. We can't bring up another NXT guy to just job. And I mean, Javon Evans has been jobbing like hell anyway. So, I mean, he's jobbing it everywhere he goes. He's just looking fabulous doing it. So he's kind of in that HBK role right now, where you have to job and you have to make everybody else look like a star. And then maybe one day he'll get his break. The problem is you could either be the HBK of that role or you could be the Dolph Ziggler of that role. And I don't want that for Javon Evans at 22 years old.
Good comparison, sir. Good comparison. All right, let's talk about the retirement match. We got to talk about John Cena versus the Ring General. We got to talk about Gunther. We got to talk about, first off.
Wait. So this is the highlight of the show. Before we get to the highlight, are we not going to mention congratulations to Thea Hale, new NXT North American Women's Champion, in a pre-booked segment that seemed more overbooked than anything I've ever seen in my life, because we don't do botches on NXT, right?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
So my take about that is when I saw that happening, it made me flash back to Mariah May, because I was like, yeah, that's some AEW nonsense that we just saw over there on NXT.
So Bully called it right after. I'm gonna cite my sources.
Ray Charles called it. Stevie Wonder saw everything that happened. He was like, "This is some shit." Here.
No, but what Bully said makes
sense. That's my one curse for
the what Bully said made sense. So when Thea Hale hit her with that springboard drop off the rope, knocked the wind out of her.
She blasted her. Yeah, she landed flat.
And because of the wind was knocked out of her, Blake couldn't kick out. I mean, she tried.
Yeah, she threw her arm up, and that was all she had.
She just couldn't kick out. So as it went down, I think what's being rumored is, the old tried and true finish is the ref is supposed to count to 3 no matter what.
So that was a Vince rule. Now, I've heard that for decades. So that was a Vince rule, because he would hold the ref accountable if he jobbed it. And we've seen him job it, where the ref pulls his hand up, or when the guy doesn't kick out, and it looks god awful on TV. I mean, remember with Damian Priest, where he totally didn't kick out and the ref counted, then he just stopped counting and got up.
Yep.
And then at the, in the after show, Triple H had to say flat out, he was like, well, if you're talking to the gimmick Triple H, I'm going to say it didn't look like he kicked out to me. But he's like, but in management, I know something different. It was one of those situations. So the ref did what I think he should have done.
Yeah. I mean, it in the grand scheme of things, it was what it was. It's how it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be some kind of rule change going around, behind the scenes on what's supposed to change if that ever happens again, yada, yada. Yet to be seen. We'll see what happens. But when opportunity knocks,
hell,
answer that door. And Thea Hale answered that door.
If I'm Thea Hale, I'm like, hey, the championship's in my hand right now. Now, damn it, I may lose it next week or whatever in the hell may happen. But for this next week, I'm going to be the most visible champion in the WWE, because I'm going to make sure everybody knows my ass is standing here with a title.
And you know what, though? She kind of endears herself, though, to the common fan, because if you follow her on TikTok or Instagram and see some of the reels and everything else, she kind of just embodies she's still a fan at heart.
Yeah.
She really is. And she posted this morning, she's like, so I woke up with this morning.
Yeah, that's why I said, hell, mistakes happen all the time, but if you're the beneficiary of it, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You go ahead. But hold on, did you just say she's endearing to the common fan?
Yeah.
So you said it she's just a common fan, working hard for the man.
I'm not a Dusty Mark or anything.
No kidding. I knew you'd get that reference right away. Polka dots and all.
And all. But congrats to Thea Hale. But let's talk about the retirement match. Let's talk about how it all went down. First things first, presentation of everything looked great.
Oh, yeah.
Gunther looked great in his entrance. John looked great in his entrance. John looked amped. Even going out to the ringside there, kind of, shaking hands with the dignitaries that were out there, all of that stuff. Everything was great. Did have a little bit of nostalgia, kind of seeing how it was going to kind of go as the match went on.
Yeah.
But even though the nostalgia was there, your boys knew how the match was going to go.
So I used my one curse already, and I'm upset I did it because I need it right now. But I got to bite my tongue on the cursing part of it. But I'm going to say right now, you MFs, if you guys steal our damn playbook one more time that blatantly, and don't call us and give us them royalties on that, there's going to be a suit.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the lawyers have been called. That was ridiculous. They stole our playbook.
Everything.
I mean, they took it all the way down to the bitter end.
They took your boys. They took both of our playbooks. Though everything that we had called for.
How many times?
Yours, they got at least twice.
What the hell? I mean, come on now. You gonna go into my spot twice? I feel like they were rubbing it in my face at that point. Yep. They're like, "Oh, you think you can book it? Well, we'll show you.
We
can book it and do it just the same way, but make it on TV, and we're gonna make $1 million off of it."
Oh, Frank, he called for it once. He didn't call for it twice, though. We're going to do it twice.
Yeah, they say, we just going to double up on you. So essentially, I should be getting 2 checks.
2 checks.
But we get nothing.
So the match itself, exactly how we thought it was going to go, every spot, everything that happened. There was 2 revelations, though, that happened with your boys, though, right? At the beginning of the match was one of them. And the first thing we noticed was, we got to admit, we were wrong in calling for Oba to be that person.
Yeah.
We got to admit that.
100%. I mean, and it worked out best for all parties, right?
Yeah, it did.
Because Oba was, showcased in a match, equivalent to what nothing was going to top John Cena's retirement match. No way, shape, or form. But he wrestled the WWE World Champion in lieu of it. That's as good as it's going to get for any talent on any roster at this stage. AEW, every talent on AEW would kill to have had that spot.
Right.
So, I mean, the fact that Oba got that, we were right on the fact that he's ready for main event status. We didn't have the foresight to think that whoever came out there to retire John Cena was gonna get booed out of the building. I mean, they booed Gunther so up and down. They booed him so bad it carried over until Monday. But we didn't want Oba in that spot. That was going to set him up for pure failure, and we didn't have the foresight, and that's why we didn't get checks this
That's
week.
why we didn't get it.
That's why there was no check in our no stipend in our billfold on Monday morning, because we didn't have that foresight.
So as the match went on, though, again, everything we thought was going to happen happened, and then it came time for the final submission for John to kind of say farewell.
Now wait a minute, we didn't predict that shit.
The way he did it,
shoot.
The way he did it was one of the weirdest things that I've ever seen. I mean, Gunther gets him in the sleeper, grapevines him, rolls him to the side, and John just gets a look of peace and a smile on his face and taps like he's just barely trying to touch his arm.
Yeah, he gave him the softest, the most gentlest tap. But I've got a theory.
Okay,
I'll get to it when
I got a theory too. Let's see if our theories are the same.
Well, cool. All right, so I give you my theory. So
in the moment, it looked corny.
Yeah, it definitely looked corny. And looking back at it looked corny. But after I thought about it a little longer, I was like, you know what? I understand it now.
Okay.
So what I understand is if we flash back to April, right, mid-April. Mm-hmm. At some point, John Cena sold his soul to an evil man, an evil, cruel man.
If you smell.
Absolutely. And until John Cena retired, technically his soul was still in possession of, or in the possession of said man, right? I feel like when John Cena tapped out, he got his soul back.
Got his soul back.
Happy, yeah. So he realized he finally got his soul back because he had fulfilled his mission, and that gave him overwhelming joy as he essentially died in the ring.
Okay. All right. So your theory is completely different than mine.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
So I sat and I've sat and I thought about it. And I think John's smile as he tapped out to Gunther was a look of, I finished my fight. I did what I wanted to do. I set out as a kid with my paper championship belt to be the champion of the world. And not only did I do it once, I did it 17 times. I've conquered everything within this sport. I became a Grand Slam champion. I'm role models. I've done the greatest thing as far as being the most Make-A-Wish, fulfillers. I've done everything. I can tap in peace. And it's not I give up. It's
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm ready for that second mountain now.
Yeah.
Whatever is in front of me, I've conquered this mountain. I want the next one.
The second mountain is Nikki Bella, right?
There's 2 mountains there.
Yeah,
sir.
That's why I said he conquered one, so now he conquers another one.
So, about all joke aside, though, There were two people, though, that said something this week. And again, I like to cite my sources. I'll call them out. Bully's one of them again. But Shayna Baszler actually had a really good point and a really good thought. Shayna Baszler was like, if you've ever played chess and you're locked in a really good chess match, if you get beat when your opponent puts you in checkmate and you can't get out of it, you tip your king over and you stand across from that opponent at the table and you shake their hand and you say, good game.
Yeah.
That was John smiling and going, hey.
Essentially, he said, hey, you got me.
You got me.
Yeah, I'm out.
Right.
I gave it all I got. I never gave up until I had to give up.
Bully's response to it, as a Star Wars nerd myself, I got his response. His response was,
I will not understand this at all.
When Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obafemi? Darth Vader did not kill Obafemi. That's Triple H. What are you talking about here? That's as soon as Triple H gets his hands on his career. That's who kills Obafemi.
I know. When Darth Vader killed Obi-Wan Kenobi, before Darth got that final saber slash to him, Obi smiled. He had a smile on his face right before Darth Vader killed him. And it was more or less along lines of, hey, I done what I was set upon to do.
Yeah.
I've brought Luke up. I put him in touch with Yoda. We've got him trained. He's the one that's going to bring balance. I've done my role. So
again, I have no understanding of that reference at all, but I want to try and update it a little bit closer because we're a couple of old guys, so we're going to say a bunch of old stuff that not everybody listening is going to. But I don't know if you remember in one of the craptastic X-Men movies that happened in the first era of X-Men. Mm-hmm. Remember when Jean Grey and Professor X were squaring off, and Jean Grey was about to basically eviscerate Professor X, and she looked at him, and he looked over at Logan and just smiled.
Yep.
Because he knew the same thing. He said, "Hey, I fought my fight. I'm bested. I can't beat. I've got all these mental capabilities and all my mutant, but I can't beat this one. But I tried my best. I gave it all I had." And he basically just turned over to Logan and smiled, and then poof, he was Thanos snapped actually, which was 20 years before Thanos. But nonetheless, it was just the fact that every hero at some point is gonna fall.
But here's where I'm going to be Gunther and I'm going to get booed. You ready? Mm-hmm. All you people out there that are mad that John tapped or John gave up or John, if he would have went our route, would have passed out in the sleeper.
Yeah.
All you people out there that are mad and thought John would have won.
So
y'all don't know wrestling. I'm sorry.
Hold on, let me rewind that a little bit back a little bit. So before you say what you said, because we've rewound back to that point. Nobody thought he was going to win that's listening to this podcast. So there might have been people out there. So you're talking to the masses out there, but you ain't preaching to the choir.
No,
everybody that's listening to our podcast, if you rock with us for 155 or so episodes, you knew good and damn well there wasn't no chance John Cena wins over Gunther on his way out the door. And that would disrespect the business, and I feel like John would never do that.
Everybody out there saying, "Oh, the business has changed. Sting. Look at how Sting went out. Sting won."
Yeah,
please somebody go ask that man if that's how he should have went out.
Same thing with Daniel Bryan. Remember, Daniel Bryan won on his way out, and he fought not to win, but it was one of those, hey, the boss said this is how he wants it to go, and this is what we got to do.
Just because, and here we go, we're going to get in trouble. Just because TK's got some kind of wet dream fantasy about how these wrestlers are supposed to go out, don't mean he's right.
Absolutely not. So, I mean, just because everything AEW does, you can clearly see, that tells you he ain't always right?
Case in point, the first 10 minutes of Monday Night Raw, that is every reason why John Cena should have lost that match.
100%. You know the last time we saw that? When Roman Reigns beat Undertaker at WrestleMania.
And he
walked out there.
He couldn't get a word in edgewise.
He got 3 words in after 15 minutes of standing there getting booed at. And this is when Roman was supposed to be a face.
Yep.
Roman was supposed to be the face of the company. Yep. And Roman got booed out his ass. Yep. All he got to say was, "It's my yard." And they booed during that. Yep. They just had to downplay them and overpipe in the mic to get him to say that. because they got what they anticipated. And moments like that is why we got the tribal chief.
Yep.
Had we not got the crowd to turn on Roman so bad, just have that hellfire heat for Roman, he wouldn't have been as successful as the tribal chief as he was.
Now, you linked Gunther and Triple H early on in this episode.
Well, yeah, because Gunther's like Austrian, and I mean Triple H is using him as his soldier right now.
Ooh, there's some touchy times that have happened.
You know how Europe
let's not go into the Jewish part right now.
Yeah, no, that's Austrian, not Jewish. Jesus, good Lord. Please delete that part from the podcast. We're not anti-Semitic. Oh God, now I'm nervous.
No, it didn't. Never mind. We'll go into that one off air. So with everything that happened with Gunther became the ultimate heel in the way that Triple H became the ultimate heel for Rock and Austin.
Yeah,
that's exactly what Triple H did in the booking itself. I have no qualms with the way the booking was done for that match.
No,
the right ending, the right finale happened.
100%.
The smile in retrospect, I get it. I still don't like it. I still wish he would have just gave up instead of tapped.
Yeah, it was kind of corny. I think that was the part where they skewed away from our booking. Had they just let him pass out, then he, it would have lived into the character.
Yeah.
I think what he did kind of played against the character, and I think that's why people are pushing back.
But as far as where I see Gunther going from here, Gunther is the heel of all heels now in WWE. Yeah. So we said once upon a time, where are the great heels? Uh-huh. We said that. We've also said, where are the great baby faces?
Yeah.
Well, WWE in the past 3-4 years has become a company of baby faces.
Yeah, yeah.
You really don't have a true, just dominant, menacing heel.
No, I mean, even Dom was in the area where Dom was getting nuclear heat, but you knew it would eventually flip.
Right. Don all of a sudden became loved by the fans.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get fans loving Gunther.
No. So Gunther's your quintessential heel, right? He's the guy that from day one in the business till the end of his career, he'll always be the heel. He's like Iron Sheik.
He will never flip. I never want to see Gunther. Just like John Cena. John Cena was a consummate good guy. Yeah. I want Gunther to be the forever heel.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to see him flip.
No, because there's no avenue to make him a good guy, right? No. Like, he's not a likable person the way he talks in the ring, and you don't talk down to people that way and then eventually become their friend, right? Even when Roman was at the height of the tribal chief, he didn't talk down to the people to the level that Gunther does.
Yeah.
He would say, oh, well, this crowd is stupid or blah, blah, blah. But they were booing him when he would say it.
So when
Gunther antagonizes people just because he's Gunther and that's what he can do.
So when Roman was at his top heel level, Roman, right, as the tribal chief, as a heel, he was more or less like the mob boss.
Yeah.
And his family, if he put a hit out, his family was going to carry the hit, right?
Yeah, he was Scarface.
So Gunther is just Gunther. There's no Imperium. There's none of that with him anymore.
No.
It's just Gunther. And Gunther he's following into that step where he's like, I'm going to do this. And what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, right, because he's like, I'm the best.
I'm the best. What are you going to do?
And he has no qualms of telling you he's the best. He has no problem showing you he's the best. And that's always going to be a heel. But there is no world where we need Gunther as the babyface savior. We never need that. Gunther needs to stay your heel as long as Gunther's wrestling in WWE.
If Gunther is to go on this supposed fantasy booking that the fans are putting him into this retirement tour, and he's going to be the foil for AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, and as we are hearing, Brock Lesnar.
So I've heard that too. SummerSlam next year, and I'm like, wait, what?
so Jericho, AJ Styles, I can believe that.
Yeah, 100%, because AJ's already said he's on the way out, and Jericho, hell, he's been on the way out for years. He just don't know it yet.
If it's going to come to Brock Lesnar, Gunther's got to get to a different level than he's already at.
Yeah, so I mean,
it can't be a physical thing.
No, so
it has to be a mental thing.
So beating John Cena, essentially retiring John Cena, that definitely elevates him to the level of he could compete with Brock Lesnar, right?
Right.
But Brock, at 48 years old, same age as John, has no signs of slowing down, the way as John admittedly had signs of slowing down. Brock, with the moveset he has and the power that he possesses, he may never slow down. Brock could actually do this in his 60s, I feel like, and still throw people around with no problem.
So I was about to say, Brock's retirement may actually be the one that breaks the mold for the WWE, and he goes out on top.
Yeah, so if anybody would, it would be him. Yeah. There's no way
because you can't bill a guy as the alpha male, and even everybody's like, aliens invade. Who do we send?
Yeah, I mean, right. He's your X-Men. Yeah. He's your Avenger.
How do you beat that, even in retirement? Like, yeah. And now, granted, as far as John, as far as everybody going Super Cena,
yeah,
Superman died.
Right.
Superman died in the comics. Yeah. So why wouldn't you kill?
Although Superman came back and John swears he will not, but we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how that goes.
See how that goes. Talk to us in episode 1055, not 155. Let's see where we're at then.
Yep. So as far as, Gunther going on this retirement tour, cool. Hope it happens.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
Sounds like fun. Sounds amazing.
They've kind of alluded to it though with Monday Night Raw, with AJ staring him down in the parking lot.
Yeah. They got them interacting. So, and like I said, we already know AJ's on the way out. I feel like we're definitely getting Chris Jericho at Royal Rumble.
Right.
So that if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, which if Chris Jericho wins the Royal Rumble, sign off right then. That'll be our last podcast. But if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble and Gunther in contended for a world title, I feel like there's magic already set up for that there. Be it AJ, be it Jericho, be it whoever in the hell you want to make it, Gunther's got to have a WrestleMania match. And I feel like if he's doing the retirement tour, WrestleMania is a great way for either one of those guys to go out.
I would like to see, I mean, obviously I'm not pulling for any of these guys to leave us, but
maybe Jericho, right?
Well,
because I mean, think about Jericho's sunken in chest, and if Gunther hits him with a big chop, I mean, good Lord, that can give him a heart attack.
But I also don't want to see Jericho come back and just be here for 2 months and then leave.
So I don't think Jericho will ever leave. I feel like when he comes back to WWE, that's going to be his, kind of like John Cena said, where he's the ambassador and things like that.
Right.
I feel like it's going to be more one of those things where he did his thing with AEW. He helped put that company on the map, but he sees the writing on the wall the same way Cody did, the same way Punk did, the same way Mariah May did. They see the writing on the wall, right?
Yeah.
They know that this has a good shelf life because, again, as long as Tony wants the company to exist, it will. And he ain't running out of money no time soon, which means there'll be a company and they'll be active as long. But as far as what you're achieving in the business, he ain't going to give you that, right? I mean, there's no wrestler that's going to go there and get made and be a household name across the globe in the AEW banner. Those days are done. That's just past. And unfortunately, it is what it is. It's the reason we don't talk about it anymore. It's just not on the level of wrestling that we're trying to deal with on a week-to-week basis. And if you're a talent with a short career, even if it's 20 years, you don't want to burn 15 of them in a second-rate promotion.
Are they second?
I mean, so until TNA gets this AE deal, right now they're second because they got national broadcast.
I'm poking the bear.
But let's be honest, when TNA goes to primetime cable, I don't know if they're second anymore. I mean, we'll have to see. But if they're going to keep that working relationship with NXT and they're going to start getting NXT talent over on their show, now we're talking about maybe they're number 3.
All right, so with Gunther being the ultimate heel now and going on this world tour, it's going to be interesting to see who steps up to kind of see where Gunther takes this. I'm hoping it is massive heat everywhere he goes. I'm hoping he gets put in some big matches. I'm kind of interested to see how long, maybe before they put a title back on him. I'm kind of interested to see where they go.
Depends on where everything else is going. I mean, right now, the way we're angling with the World Heavyweight title on Raw, we've kind of got a lot going on over there, with CM Punk and LA Knight.
Speaking of that, let's talk about a lot going on.
Okay.
Because we found out who was that masked man.
We did find out who the masked man was. And no, it wasn't Montez Ford.
And no, it wasn't Chris Jericho.
No, it wasn't Chris Jericho. It definitely wasn't Seth Rollins.
It wasn't Seth Rollins. It wasn't Dean Ambrose.
It wasn't Dean Ambrose. It wasn't Jon Moxley. It was another one of the least guarded secrets in the entire wrestling business.
Welcome back, Austin Theory.
Yeah, where'd your hair go?
Where'd your hair go? Where'd the beard go?
Exactly. I mean, you come back and you leave all that stuff behind, and now you're the masked man.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's talk about this for a minute.
Well, before we talk, it wasn't as big as when Hogan was the third man of NWO, right? It wasn't this type of reveal, huh?
No. So
damn.
This is the problem with Austin Theory. Everything, and I mean everything that this young man does, it just seems to be the color mediocre.
Yeah.
It never lands well.
And I don't know what it is. I mean, the kid's got a great look. He's athletic as hell.
He's great in the ring.
He can work. But something I mean, we're almost back in that Ahmed Johnson territory we were mentioning earlier. Looks great, can figure it out, and something just doesn't happen.
Here's the real reason, I believe. Here's my reason for Austin Theory. He can't connect to the
All right, let's talk about it.
Once upon a time, there was another man just like Austin Theory. His name was Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Vince McMahon called Drew McIntyre the future of the business.
Yep.
And because of that stigma to Vince McMahon, the fans revolted against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Austin Theory had that exact same story.
Essentially, yeah.
And is running into the exact same problem.
But so the difference, I mean, when Drew had to leave because Vince was correct on what he said about Drew, but he was premature, which apparently that's a problem that Vince has. But we're not gonna get into the lawsuit category.
Where'd I go with that?
That's part of the lawsuit that's in there. But apparently he prematurely, it went along with Drew. And then Drew had to go away. He had to disappear. He had to kind of reinvent himself. And then he came back and it clicked. Everything happened the way Vince had foreseen. He just saw it too early.
Yep.
I feel like that's what they tried to do with Austin Theory because we haven't seen Austin Theory in 8 months. I mean, it's been damn near since Mania since we saw Austin Theory.
He was hurt. He came back. He got over the injury bug he was having. But my problem with Austin Theory, he's never been in an angle or story or anything to me that has said, hey, I'm interested to see what happens with that dude.
Yeah.
He's been bungled with everything. Now, had the story played out like it was supposed to play out with Seth Rollins, I could kind of maybe be interested in Austin Theory because he was with Seth before.
Yeah.
So when the Monday Night Messiah gimmick was happening,
he was one of the acolytes. Then
so
and Buddy Murphy.
I could see it. I could.
Where's
see him
Buddy Murphy at? Where's he at these days?
More question is who is Buddy Murphy?
I don't know. I haven't seen that guy. I haven't seen that guy since he came.
You mean Buddy Matthews?
Nah, I haven't seen that guy since he was local here to the city. He came to visit our town one time.
I can't bag on Buddy because Buddy had a very unfortunate accident in the ring, and his career might be over.
Well, that's okay. I mean, he's got a breadwinner in there that's really holding it down, so it ain't like he's gonna go hungry.
He's
true. Fine.
He'll
be okay.
But yeah, so
lucky man.
The masked man was Austin Theory, and it could have been anybody else.
Could have been a fart in church because that's what it went over as.
Yeah,
when he unmasked, I looked at the crowd when he pulled the mask off. I looked at the crowd and I'm like, are we going to see shocked faces? We saw none of that. Everybody was just like, yep, that's what we figured.
So where does this go? Is this Austin Theory versus CM Punk? Because I don't know.
We're already geared up for January 5 to have Braun Breaker versus CM Punk. So, I mean, Austin Theory, there ain't no room for Austin Theory. But, I mean, honestly, my honest opinion, I feel like they're just shuffling the deck and they're going to try and ease Braun Breaker up into that Seth Rollins role, and they're going to use Austin Theory to fill the Braun Breaker role. I feel like it's just like a deck of cards, and they're just shuffling the deck. One card's out, you put another card in its place.
I think you're going to get a faction split.
A faction split?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more.
I think you're going to see Paul split off with the Browns. and you're going to see Logan and Austin split off into their own faction, into a tag team, maybe into a deeper faction. I think you're going to get a split. Because I don't think Logan is really Vision.
No, but I think he just brings the heat. I think because I think Seth used to bring that nuclear heat to the group that they wanted, and I feel like when he went out, they just had to plug and play.
Too many people like Braun Breaker. Too many people cheer. They do the dog bark. I mean, too many people like him. So there's got to be somebody.
And that's the thing. You got to have a heater in that group. And I feel like Seth was the heater because it's easy to hate Seth.
Yep.
And when he went out, I feel like they hurried up and put Logan Paul in because it's easy to hate Logan Paul. But yeah, it's not so easy to hate Braun Breaker. I mean, he's a Steiner. Let's start there, right?
Yep.
Even though we all were supposed to hate Scott Steiner, no one hated Scott Steiner.
No.
For a while, we were supposed to boo the dog-faced gremlin. He's the dog-faced gremlin. You're not going to boo him for long. People love Rick Steiner. They love his family, so essentially they're going to love him. It's going to be hard to get a lot of heat on a guy like that.
If you've got a faction of 4 coming after Punk, I don't see a way out of this that Punk does not drop that.
There is one way out of it that Punk has used before, approximately 10 years ago, to save his ass when people were coming after him. Punk will need a shield.
Oh.
Yeah, Punk will need a shield to protect him. That's the only way to keep him safe.
The shield as in Roman?
No, God, no. Those days are done.
Okay.
But I feel like if there's a lot of NXT talent that we've already mentioned, that we've talked about, that are ready to graduate. It's like graduation season's coming up here real soon, right?
Hey, you put Oba and Bronson Reed in the ring together?
Could you imagine putting them in the ring and getting Trick involved with that and calling them like a new version of the Shield?
Okay, you got me.
At that point now, you're starting to look at the world a different way.
Call me intrigued. You got me now.
So I don't know if we could put Bronson Reed. He can't be on Seth's side, though. I mean, Seth would have to bring up 3 NXT talent that are fresh to help cover it because they're going to have to fight Bronson Reed because, I mean, Bronson Reed smushed Seth. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, my bad. I thought you meant like in a team, and I'm like, ooh, wait a minute. I don't know about that. But yeah, Seth graduated, let's say, Trick and Oba, and I don't know, one more guy, maybe Javon Evans, to be a little shield. I mean, now, granted, in Triple H's world, that'd be a black shield, so they'd probably have to lose. But nonetheless, if you graduate him up under Seth, that might give him enough credo to say, hey, they can't lose all the matches. They got to win some.
All right, so this was our thoughts on Saturday night's main event, on John Cena's retirement, Gunther's heat, and the reveal of Austin Theory.
And where we go from here. I mean, John said it himself. If come January we're still talking about John, then we did something wrong. So the fact that we could talk about John, but then start off into our new storylines of where we're going, I feel like he served his purpose.
He did. And I'm going to end the show with this thought. Michael Cole had a quote coming out of Saturday night's main event that was one of the most intriguing quotes that I've ever heard from Michael Cole.
What do you have?
Saturday night was the night that professional wrestling killed sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Interesting thought.
Absolutely.
Interesting thought.
We transitioned back over because John was sports entertainment to no level, and Gunther is professional wrestling. So, hey, maybe we're looking at a new shift.
Interesting thought. So thank you, everybody, for listening to today's show. Reach out on our social media platforms, drop us a line, let us know your thoughts. And with that, everybody, have a happy holidays coming up. And with that, we bid you adieu.
Peace. Once again, congratulations.
Today's podcast was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.